Hi everyone, this is Mr. Majuma once again, and welcome to Mr. Majuma's Learning TV. So for today's discussion, we will be talking about beverage costing. Food and beverage costing is very essential in every business for us to identify how much will be our potential sales or how much will be our potential profit for our food and beverage product. So for today's video, I will be showing you two templates of doing costing using Excel. So the first one is the most easy, which is commonly applicable for those beverage product. So before we start, let us first familiarize the different part of this template. So first we have this one, the standard measurement per serving. So by the way, the term per serving in this costing refers to the amount or the volume of your standard measuring utensils in every mixing or in every product making. So for this case, I am using jigger. So this means that in every mixing process, I am using jigger as my standard measuring utensils. For my jigger, it has two measurements or two parts. First, we have the 30 ml and the other one is the 50 ml. Now, there are different measurements in every jigger. So some jiggers, just like those jiggers commonly used in every milk tea shops or those clear plastic jigger, instead of ml, the measurement is converted into cl or centiliter. Yet in this costing, so we will be using 30 ml as the standard measurement for every serving. Again, every serving in this costing refers to the volume of your measuring utensils in every mixing. It doesn't mean the entire recipe. And then next we have the costing form. So first we have the edible portion, then item, and then we have also the number of serving at 30 ml. Okay, and then we have also the converted volume into ml or grams if you are using ml or gram. Okay, so you can use ml. So if ml, all liquid must be in ml, and if grams, all ingredients must be into grams, even the liquid if you are measuring it through its weight. For example, coffee, can measure espresso using weight, so you can indicate in this part the description if it is grams or ml. Then we have also this purchase information. So first we have the purchase price, how much it costs when you purchase the item. Then we have also the purchase volume, and then we have also the unit description. So unit description, it is very important to indicate if when you purchase it is by ml or by grams, and then also if it is by bottle or by pack. And then we have also the third part, which is the cost. So potential number of serving, we have also the cost per serving at 30 ml, and then we have also the extension cost or the cost per recipe for the entire ingredients. Okay, so the cost per serving refers only for the cost per 30 ml. Okay, so this is also the other advantage of this costing, because if you are in a business of bar operation, there are some customers that will instruct you to create or to have their own version of that particular recipe or for that particular drinks. So therefore, it is easy for you to do costing based to the number of ingredients that he or she instructed you to add on their drinks. So just like for example, your standard recipe requires 3 jigger of cola with 30 ml per jigger. However, she wants to have 4 jigger. So therefore, it is easy for you to add an additional cost for the additional number of serving. So we have also our guide on how to compute the potential number per serving. So the number per serving will be identified after your purchase volume will be divided with your standard measurement per serving, or using the 30 ml as your standard measurement per serving or per measuring utensils. And then for your cost per serving, so cost per 30 ml, so you can identify this one after your purchase price will be divided with the number of serving. Okay, not your number of serving and then divided with price. So it should be purchase price and then divided with your potential number of serving. And then we have lastly your extension cost or the cost per recipe. Okay, so this will be the cost of your entire item. So we can get the cost per recipe or the extension cost by simply multiplying your cost per serving and with your edible portion number of serving. And of course, with our gross recipes, so this gross recipe refers to the entire cost of your product, yet without the additional cost. And then we have also the buffer. So in some term, they call this one markup cost. Markup cost will be your ideal cost percentage for your gross recipe cost. So this will be your profit percentage. And then we have also the utility cost percentage, which will be added or which will be goes to your utility expenses. So just for example, electrical and water expenses. And then we have also the labor cost for your employees, salary or wages. So after identifying or after adding all cost percentages, so we have now the selling price. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so for example, for this time we will be doing a costing for our Cuba Libre. We have Coke, and then we have also rum, and then we have lime juice. And then since we are doing costings, so it is also important to include the supplies for these drinks. So just like for example, stirrer, then straw. Then we have also for our garnish, we have lime wedge. Okay, so after identifying all the items involved in your beverage, let us now proceed to your edible portion volume. Okay, so for example, this Coke, for this recipe I need 3 jigger of cola, so which means I need 90 ml of Coke. And then we have purchase price. So in our purchase price, so it is very important to make it into the highest possible price, so that even if the price will drop or rise, there's no need for us to change our costing or the price of our product. Okay, so for example, in this case, we are using 1,500 ml of Coke with the highest possible price of 80 pesos. So therefore, for our potential number of servings, we have 50 servings after dividing the purchase volume with the standard measurement per serving or with 30 ml. And then for our cost per serving, we are just dividing the 80 pesos with 50 servings. And then to get our extension cost or the cost per recipe or for the entire edible portion of cola or the Coke in this recipe, so just simply multiply cost per serving, which is 1.6 pesos, with our edible portion number of servings, which is the 3 jigger or equivalent to 90 ml. And then next, for our rum, for example, in this case, our recipe needs 2 jigger or 60 ml of rum with 750 ml per bottle, and then the highest possible price of 150. So therefore, for our potential number of servings, after dividing the 750 ml with 30 ml, so the total of 25 servings. And then for our cost per serving, the 150 pesos was divided with our potential number of serving, which is 25. So therefore, our cost per serving is 6 pesos. So in this case, our recipe needs 2 jigger or equivalent to 60 ml of rum. So therefore, our extension cost or cost per recipe will be 12 pesos. Then let's proceed for our next ingredient, which is the fresh lime juice. So by the way, the fresh lime juice in this case extracted freshly from fresh lime fruit. So let's have an example of a total cost of 150 for total extract or juices of a fresh lime with a total of 250 ml. And for this scenario, let's have 1 jigger or 30 ml of our edible portion of this lime juice. So therefore, for our potential number of servings, after dividing the purchase volume, which is 250 ml, with our standard measurement per serving, which is 30 ml, so therefore our potential number of serving will be 8.33. So again, for our cost per serving, the same process. Our purchase price will be divided with our number of serving. So in this case, our cost per serving for fresh lime juice will be 18 pesos. And for our extension cost, so since we are only using 1 serving of 30 ml fresh lime juice, so therefore the same price, 18 pesos for our extension cost. And now let's move to our supplies. So there's no need for us to get the converted volume since we are using by individual portion or by piece, and we don't need to convert this to ml or grams. So just simply place the number of serving or the number of pieces needed in this drink under the number of serving column. So in this case, I am using only 1 piece of stirrer, in which in every pack of the stirrer contain 100 pieces with a highest possible price of 90 pesos. So therefore, for our potential number of serving, just simply copy the volume or the purchase volume, and then for our cost percentage or cost per serving, the same process. Just divide your purchase price with the number of serving. And also for our extension cost, so just simply multiply our cost per serving to our number of servings under the edible portion. So therefore, in this case, we have the same amount, which is 0.9 pesos or 0.9 centavo. And then for our straw, the same process. For this scenario, we only need 1 piece of straw, and then we purchase the straw with 100 pieces per pack and a highest possible price of 80 pesos. So for our potential number of serving, just copy paste the purchase volume, and then for our cost per serving, so divide your purchase price with the number of serving, in which in this case our purchase price is 85. So therefore, a total of 0.85 centavo for the cost per serving or per straw. And since we are only using 1 straw, the same extension cost with the cost per serving. And then for our ice, so there are 2 ways on how to calculate the cost of our ice, because there are also 2 forms of ice. It could be you are using the ice which is sold by grams, or it could be those sold by piece. So if you are using those ice sold by piece, so just simply follow the same process like the computation of the stirrer and the straw. But if you are using those sold by grams, just like for example, in every pack with 5 kilos of ice cube sold by pack and with the highest possible cost of 50 pesos, and we only need 200 grams of ice. So therefore, our potential number of serving, just divide our purchase volume with our converted volume. So this means that there could be a potential number of 25 serving of ice per 200 grams. So again, for this potential number of serving, we are using 200 grams as our standard serving. So therefore, for our cost per serving, the same process. For every 200 grams of ice, the cost will be only 2 pesos. Then, so for our extension cost, in this case, we are just using 1 serving of ice with 250 grams. So therefore, we only need 2 pesos for our ice. So next we have our fresh lime wedge. So for our fresh lime wedge, we will be needing only half of every one piece of a fresh lime fruit with a highest possible price of 30 pesos. Before we proceed with our potential number of servings, if you observe, so unlike with our stir and straw, in which our 100 pieces of stir and straw was divided with the number of serving, so therefore in this case, for our lime wedge, we are going to divide our purchase volume with our converted volume, in which in this scenario we have only half slice of the whole fruit of the lime. So therefore, for our potential number of serving, we can make it with 2 servings of lime wedge, which is for garnishing purpose. So therefore, let's put an indication of 1 serving under our edible portion, and then for our cost per serving, so therefore out of 2 potential number of serving, we only need 1 serving, or equivalent to half of every 1 piece of the lime. So therefore, for our cost per serving, just simply divide the purchase price with our number of serving. So therefore, a cost per serving of 15 pesos, and then for our extension cost, so just simply multiply our cost per serving to our number of serving under edible portion. So therefore, the answer is correct. So for our gross recipe cost, just simply total our extension cost. So therefore, a total of 53.55. So this will be the cost, or the gross recipe cost for this entire drink. So take note that this cost still don't have our profit or our markup cost and some other cost percentages. So for example, in this case, we want to add 10%. Okay, so 10% for our markup. So therefore, all we need to do is to multiply our gross recipe cost with 10%. So therefore, there will be an addition of 5.355 pesos as a markup cost. So this will be your profit for this beverage. Now, for the utility cost, so let's have an example of 5% for our utility cost, and the same with our labor cost, which is also 5%. So therefore, the same process, our gross recipe cost will be multiplied with 0.5%. So therefore, a total of 2.67 pesos. So the same also with our labor cost. So our gross recipe will be multiplied with 0.05%. And then for our selling price, so therefore these are the 3 cost percentages for this costing. So therefore, for our total selling price, so just simply add all this one, including your gross recipe cost and all the 3 cost percentages. So therefore, for our total selling price, we have 64.26 pesos. Okay, so that's how we make a costing for our beverage product.